Oi, get the checkbook out this summer. Hey, Florian. Oh, art thou Florian? I believe you're looking for a new football club, my mate. Hey, England, Manchester, Etihad, this Stad will be playing Champions League football next year, my friend. Yeah, how about you take a little 2-2 Ryanair jet from Leverkusen over to Manchester. We'll get you a nice hotel stay. Little 2-2 medical, £300,000 a week. Couple bonuses thrown in there. 2-2 Ballon d'Or in a couple years. Champions League. Happy days. You want to go Bayern Munich. Little 2032 Bayern Munich driller. Happy days. We get the next up and coming star. How about it, Florian? Florian. Oh, art thou Florian?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I told you guys that Villa are gonna bottle it, ladies and gentlemen. I told you all that Villa are gonna bottle it. But before we continue, Mike is gonna be on full screen for a minute. He has a message to deliver for the chat and he wants to speak to the audience quickly. Like, share, comment, subscribe.
Okay.
Go on, Mike.
Okay, you don't have to preface it like that. But I made a statement before and Hussam said I wouldn't say it. So I'm gonna check Hussam and I'm gonna say it. Any match-going Liverpool supporter, the privileged posh pricks who fill Anfield week in, week out and make it more quiet than a library, so silent that you could hear a mouse fart. Wolverhampton Wanderers, a team that is guaranteed to be relegated, made more noise on counterattacks at 0-0 than Anfield has made in the last 10 seasons. So people who go to the matches should be ashamed of themselves. They are privileged. It is a disgrace how quiet the atmosphere is on a week-in, week-out basis, and you should take notes from Wolves, a team that won't be in the Premier League next season, making you guys look like a bunch of dickheads, sitting in red seats, making no sound. So yeah, you know, Anfield crowd sucks. Big up Wolves, massive win. I told you I would say it. I don't understand why you think I'm afraid of smoke.
Okay.
It's all them American tourists at Anfield, ain't it? That's the problem.
Hey, you know, it's tons of tourists. It ain't
All the
just
hardcore Liverpool fans just unscribed to you.
Listen. It's plenty. There's plenty of tourists. It ain't just people who live in Liverpool, or it's the club for pricing people out. It's It's the way that we even get tickets. I mean, if you live internationally, if you want to get a ticket to a Liverpool game, you better know someone in the UK, or you got to buy hospitality.
Big up to Kenneth, who starts us off with a super chat. Big up to you, Kenneth, who says, if we win, we are 3 points behind Aston Villa. And you know, speaking of, before I even speak about Olise, before we speak about the summer, I want to speak about the current state of Liverpool Football Club. Big up to all of you guys. 300 people are in the building already. Thank you guys so much. We had so much fun on the Villa watch along as well. Continue to like the video, continue to subscribe. Big up to everyone who's shown me so much love and support today. I appreciate you all. We're ending the month off on a high, so thank you guys so much. And big up to everyone who's always supported us. Big up to everyone on the panel. All the links are in the description. So you can go find Mike's channel, Mike Das LFC is in the description. K-Mac channel is in the description. Liverpool Chats TV is in the description. That's where you can find Jamie Phillips. And of course, where you can find Barnes and Pops is Bayesian Reds TV. So go give them a subscribe as well, please. And big up to you, Kenneth. Thank you so much. And this is exactly what we're going to start with. And you know, Mike, I'll start off with you. Liverpool's top 5 chances. And, you know, just Liverpool, you know, in the Premier League this season. And also, I want to get your reaction to us drawing Galatasaray and all that stuff. Just talk to me about your general feelings on Liverpool right now. By the way, we're currently on a 5 out of 6 game winning run.
Wait, what? So you want me to just loosely touch on Forest and then loosely touch on
just talk about everything Liverpool related over this last week?
I'll keep it short because you know you put me on full screen before and I got to respect everyone else here. Forest game, total shit show, but for all the possession and attacking prowess that Forest had, they really didn't trouble us that much. I felt like Alisson had the one-on-one, and other than that, it was a bunch of like really dangerous opportunities that should have been taken better, but weren't, and they were wasted. And we were fortunate in that sense, but also there's a reason why Forest are where they are in the table. They're finding it very difficult to convert those chances. Outside of that, you know, it kind of played out how I thought it would play out. We're just like, I literally texted ends like 10 minutes into this game. I said, I smell a 95th minute winner in a scummy performance. And that's exactly what happened. big up to Virgil for being onside. I know that Arne's foot actually did keep him onside, even though it didn't look like it. So yeah, it is what it is. Everyone knows my thoughts on the manager. There's nothing to break down analysis wise. Just win and let me feel a little bit happier. But I'm not going to show. I didn't even celebrate the goal. I was like, that's exactly what I said it would be. And then Galatasaray. Listen, all I'm saying is, you lost 1-0 away from home during the worst spell of our season, when we were the most discombobulated we have ever been. In the last 10 years as a Liverpool fan. That was the worst I've ever seen us go out on a week-to-week basis. That screams just go to Turkey, scum it. I don't care. 0-0, I'll take it, right? Just no goals. Play scummy football. Don't try to control anything. Hostile atmosphere. At worst, lose 1-0 again. But just don't do anything stupid. And then second leg, show up. Show out. Get it done. I don't see any reason why we should lose to Galatasaray. There's no reason why over 2 legs we should get knocked out of this tournament against them. There is no excuse. I don't care how bad we've been. It's Galatasaray. So just get me to the quarterfinal. Keep taking it day by day. That's simple.
Guys,
I did say that we'd finish third a few weeks ago when we were having this discussion. And I still think we will. I think we finished that top 4 now. Villa always go to slowly fall away. Because Villa do. Proof's in the pudding, man. We've been here before. Now, when was the last time Villa really kept up to the positions? They're always them lofty positions that they keep in. They always fall away. The Europa League's going to take precedent for them further in the season as they go as well, because if they win that, they get Champions League anyway. I think they will win that competition. So, and Liverpool, got some easy games coming up, and we'll probably win our next few games anyway. I said we'd beat Nottingham Forest. We beat Nottingham Forest. We'll probably beat West Ham. We're going a little run. Everyone will say slot in because everyone's blind. And then, it is what it is. I might be the only idiot here, right? In fact, I know I'm the only idiot here. But I'm the only person here.
Don't do that.
I'm the only person here who actually prefers the side of the draw that we got in the Champions League. Because I think Liverpool play better against bigger European sides than smaller European sides.
Are you talking about the bracket?
Yeah. I prefer the side of the draw that we're on to the other side.
So potentially playing Barcelona and then potentially playing like
I can see
Arsenal.
Liverpool. If we was on the other side, I can see Liverpool losing away to Bodo Glimt, right? In the way we are, but in a weird way, I can see us going away to Real Madrid and getting a draw.
I know what Jamie's talking about.
My bad. I was on the wrong side. I was on the wrong side.
Yeah.
Sometimes we play to the level of the opponent, is what Jamie's saying.
Yeah.
I mean,
feel like
the only time this hasn't applied this season is City. That's the only time it hasn't applied. And this is the one club I want us to avoid. I don't want to see Man City in the
that's right. Apart from Barcelona, all the European royalty is on our side.
Yeah.
Well, there's also all the there's a very real possibility that Liverpool might have to play 3 English teams in a row. They might have to play Chelsea. They might have to then play Manchester City, and then they might have to play Arsenal in the final. Just saying.
Yeah,
that is very real.
I don't want to be like a negative Nancy. Like I really don't.
But yeah,
but who thinks we're going to beat Wolves twice? Like we barely beat them at Anfield, if you do remember.
Did we
it's not like. It's not like the weird thing about Wolves is we gave Wolves the confidence to start winning games again because we let them play really well against us when we took the lead. And then Wolves then kind of got their confidence back because they actually played really well at Anfield because everybody plays really well at Anfield. And now they're kind of winning games again, getting draws, whatever. They drew against Arsenal, by the way. Everyone's really surprised they beat Aston Villa. I wouldn't be surprised if they beat us, at their ground, at the way we are. And we absolutely stunk against Nottingham Forest. And I'm all for stinky wins. But my God, is this season going to be Alisson scoring a header to get us into the top 3? Like, but you do remember that season, we didn't have any defense. We also didn't have any midfield because he played all the midfielders in defense and they all got injured. So we had no defense or midfield in that season, and we still spawned top three. But this is a season where, like the start of the season, I'm thinking we can win the Champions League and the Premier League. And the weird thing is, I'm sat here now looking at the Premier League and the Champions League going, we fucking should win those. But because of the nonsense and the guy in charge, we're in this situation where we're hoping Aston Villa lose. We're hoping Man United have a slip. And I'm sat there going, what could have been? Like, what could have been? Like, and this draw, the only thing we've seen with this draw is we're probably going to go out one stage further in than last season. You know, we got beat by PSG. We'll probably get beat by Chelsea or PSG. But the next round, because we're going to beat Galatasaray because they are rubbish. They basically got all the old midfield from the Premier League who kind of retired and went there, and also loads of old defenders that were in the Premier League and retired and went there. And if we can't beat them, then Jesus. Like, and if Osimhen has a worldie, then I'll be sat there going, well, you know, he's the guy I wanted. Telling everyone how good he was.
Did you see what Osimhen said on CBS? He said he wants to avoid us.
Yeah.
What a game that was, by the way, if you watched it.
Yeah, it was a good game.
Juventus.
It was a good game. Yeah, I think Slot keep talking about PSG. I think PSG can just come back and haunt him once again this season, to be honest with you. I don't see us passing PSG as I think they beat Chelsea. I can be honest with you. I don't think Chelsea can be able to stop PSG in the Champions League. And then, hey, he got his wish. He keep talking about them the whole year. He got them again in the very next round. So we'll beat Galatasaray for sure. But listen, tomorrow for West Ham, we should win that game. Listen, we should just get the next 12 points with the favorable games that we have. But are we going to do it with how this manager plays? We know one thing for sure, and one thing that is certain. Cody Gakpo will be starting on the left-hand side, 100%. That's the one thing for certain that we know. And the games are going to be bad to watch. Husam's going to probably go bald again. He's going to have to shave his head once more. Mike's going to go crazy. Jamie's going to be going nuts on Big Up. K-Mat's going to go crazy. I'm going to lose my mind because it's going to be tough watches for all of us as content creators. Hey, we got to expect that we're going to watch bad games. Hopefully we scum you out. We get top 4. Hopefully, I think we should still get top 4. But with this manager, I got no confidence when it comes to this coach, to be honest. I'm sick of him. As I said on Copish, if anyone watched the call-in show today, every time I see him, I want to slap him across his head and put him in a car and take him back to Holland. That's the truth. I want pure violence against Slot right now. Me personally, don't like him.
You're doing God's work, mate. You're doing God's work.
How do I even respond? Oh my God! Look at this.
Oh my God!
I love that guy. No, that guy's good.
Oh my God!
He was on the touchline.
I'm so
Jamie. I like you a lot. I wouldn't stop you, but Slot for sure. Again, 100%.
Cannot do this.
So,
Jay Slot in. That's it. Jay Slot.
Are you still Slot in, by the way?
who?
No one is.
Okay, so you turned the corner. You finally did.
Who?
You.
Slot in, slot out. Slot's not going anywhere until the end of the season. I don't think so. So
He's not going anywhere. Full stop.
Do I think our performances have been completely shocking? Absolutely. Do I see any light at the end of the tunnel? No, not really. If he goes, will I be disappointed? No, not particularly. Not anymore.
Okay.
But at the same time, it doesn't make a difference. Let's see the season play out, and then we'll see what happens.
So I'm gonna ask a question to everyone because I heard this last night and Jamie brought it. Jamie, by the way, great show last night. If Slot wins Champions League, who would
He
still
stays.
stack him?
He
in every one of
stays.
your-
No, I know. If you have a man, look, if he wins the Champions League, he stays. I don't think
I'll
anybody's.
be honest. I'm willing, as much as I'm slot out, I'm so willing to fight this. If he wins the Champions League, he's got to stay, bro.
Nah, he's gone. He's
did
gone.
this.
for
We
me.
did this last week. We did this last week, and we
He's
we
gone for
spent
me.
30 minutes.
Gone.
I heard what you said even on American Waffle, and you're wrong. Now, even in the Champions League, watch this, yeah?
Excuse me.
In order to win the Champions League, we've got to beat, forget Galatasaray, yeah? You've got to beat one of Chelsea or PSG, and then you've got
One
to
of-
beat one of Madrid's, Real Madrid or Bayern Munich, and then in the final,
Or
you've got to
City.
beat one of, yeah,
Or
I just
City.
said City, Madrid, or Bayern Munich,
And
then
then
in the
probably
final,
Arsenal.
Arsenal or Barcelona.
I mean,
But
listen.
I'll be
again-
honest with you, Mike. By default, if you've beat, because here's your logic. Your logic is there are 48 teams in the Champions League, and this team
No,
is rubbish, and that
That's
team is
not my
rubbish, and blah,
logic.
blah, blah.
That's not my logic. No.
And
You-
you've won
already
5
butchered it.
games, but 5 games do not usurp the whole season. Actually, they do. Because
No, it's 7 games, and it's 7
7
out of
games.
65. So you're
Act-
basically
act-
saying 58 other games mean nothing.
No,
The only-
because every game doesn't have the same value.
Yeah.
No, but in the Premier League, all of those 38 games are
Do you know-
massively important.
You know, the only game that matters is your last game at the end of the season, because you could be second for 37 weeks of the season. Yeah, you win your last game of the season, you're top. That's all you need to do.
But
So
all
that
38 games
that
matter.
matters. But the only game that matters is the last game, because if you lost that last game, the other 37 games before that don't matter. But if you win that last game, the only game that mattered in that Premier League season was the last game of the season.
mean,
Jamie's got a
that's one
really
way,
good
but-
point, because there's a stat going around where Pep Guardiola spent less time in first position than Arteta, and it does matter where you finish. But
Absolutely.
I'm sorry, like I was in the opinion of, you know what, if he does win the Champions League, then he should be given another season. But no, because what we're going to do next season, we're going to play
Same
what?
shit.
We're going to play Gravenberch again. We're going to play Cody again. What? We're going to sell. We're going to sell Mo. We're just going to stop binning all those players now. Like, and then do you trust him with the next lot?
But regardless of
I
regardless of who's
I don't
the
trust,
manager,
I don't trust him with a squad, because anyone he's going to buy, they're going to come to Liverpool and they're going to be like, well, if I'm not in the 11, then I'm going to get 300 minutes. I'm going to be badly treated. I'm going to watch these fuckers play shite all the time, but they're going to get picked because they're his fucking buddies. He fucking eat fucking hot dogs around his house on a Saturday. Like, I don't know, like, but there's a situation at Liverpool now where the squad's so badly mismanaged by this idiot, and like what's going on with Rio? What's going on with Trey Ione? Like, what's going on with Callum Chambers? Like, what's going on with all these guys who've got a huge amount of talent and should be backup players now?
most of
Nothing. Nah, I'm
Most
going to
of
I'm going to go and sign
mo-
what Denzel Dumfries when he's fucking 31, because he's
most of
Dutch.
those players won't make it.
I don't know, man,
Most of
but- But
most
you
of those players won't make it at
he can
Liverpool
rock the
anyway.
Champions League, he can finish third, and he could fucking win the FA Cup. But I still want the fucker gone.
Here's where he could combat the people that say,
No block.
okay, he should stay if he wins the Champions League. So we could end up beating those squads, but it could be individual brilliance from players that win us those games and have nothing to do with tactics or man management. That has nothing to do with the coach. That's the players that won you that trophy. Nothing to do with him. Because he clearly has no man management skills. We look horrible. He puts players in bad positions. He's got a right back who refuses to play. And his ego is just way too big for this club, and they can't stand anymore. And I can be honest with everyone here. If he
Honestly,
remains head coach of this team, I guarantee you Ibuhu Konate do not sign back with this club. And I'm fully
look.
convinced now that Trent left because of Arne Slot. He did not want to play for this manager anymore. And I was on
but Trent said so many complimentary things about Arne Slot last
He has
season.
to. He has to.
Unprovoked. He came
No,
out and talked.
If you
on the record.
body language, between
Unprovoked.
people, saying something and look at the body language and how they're
He didn't
interacting
have to say
with each
it.
other.
Oh man, come on! Unless you're a body language expert, I ain't hearing it. Unless you show me your body language reading credentials, then I'll consider that.
I think
why are we? Look, ultimately, if we win the Champions League, he's not going. I don't know why we're talking about this.
He's not. Yeah, he isn't. I don't think it's like, I mean, first and foremost, you have to win the Champions League. Let's worry about, getting past the round of 16. But
yeah,
at the end of the day, like the best comparison that I can think of would be if you had a really rich dad and he bought you a Ferrari and you're 18 and you think life is good, but a year later he's completely absent from your life and he's a terrible father. Like, it's nice that you have a Ferrari. It's nice that you have a Ferrari, but your dad sucks. Like, at the end of the day, you don't actually have a father.
But
But that's what it's going to feel like if Slot stays, right? It's going to be like, damn, dad did buy me a car, but also he's not really my dad because we don't talk. Like, we don't talk. He doesn't do anything. He's absent from my life. He didn't come to graduation. He doesn't love me. He never tells me that he loves me. He never kisses mom. He's never home for dinner. Like, that's what it is. And if
are
that's
you actually talking about Arne, because his family live in Holland still?
Listen.
I ain't gonna lie. It sounds like my dad. I ain't gonna lie.
It's just an analogy. It's just an analogy. But listen, at the end of the day, like, I think, and I'm not talking about my own life. I love my father, but regardless, I think that at the end of the day, what it is the people who have seen, like, it's not about what it is, what's going on today. Like, I think if you still would be Arne Slot out, it isn't about, like, you're going to be so happy that we won the Champions League and you're going to be happy for the players and all this, but your mind is still on the future. And that 6 months later, the probability that we all sit here and we have the same conversations that we had this January, next January, is high. And I think that there's one section of people that will say, I don't care, I'm living in the moment. That's fine. Great. Fantastic. I'm not going to tell you how to live your life. And there's another section who's going to say, I'm going to enjoy today, but tomorrow I'm going to realize that that's now the past. It's gone. It's not like the second that Champions League is over, it's done. That's the past. What does the future lead? And I don't see any world where a future with this guy leads to continued sustained success.
Let me tell you about the future.
Go for it.
The future's name is Arne Slot, and we've all got to deal with it because it's happening. He ain't going nowhere. Win it, lose it, keep it. Whatever. I was going to say something wild. Whatever, yeah. He is staying here next season. That's why I've stopped talking about Arne Slot in a particular way of, like, is he going? Is he staying? What is it? Is this important to him? Is that not important to him? I think he's staying next season. I've said this for a while now. I honestly believe the club and Arne Slot believe we've been unlucky this season. I really do. Arne Slot's quotes from yesterday.
About the 150 million.
Yeah, they tell me that. They tell me that if you actually listen to his quotes and read his quotes properly,
what did he say?
It tells you that he believes he hasn't had everything fairly this season. Nothing's gone right this season, so it's hard to judge him this season. But judge him on the season before that, where I won the league. That's what Arne Slot said. I'm not saying this is right, by the way. I'm just saying what Arne's saying. And I believe Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards feel the same. All this Xabi Alonso stuff. What I was told is Liverpool ain't sacked Arne Slot because no one's available. Well, Alonso has been available for a long time now, and he's still at the football club. I've also said it before that this football club don't go back to people that's rejected them. They rarely do that. They move on. They go to the next thing. I think Slot will be here next season, whatever happens this year. I really do. I think they're going to give him another summer transfer window, and they're going to give him one more go. And if that works, they're going to tell everyone's correct, everyone's right. And I don't think it's about money, because Slot's hardly on any money compared to other managers. So I don't think that's an issue. I just don't see him going anywhere, guys. We'll get top 5, top 4, whatever it is. We'll be in Champions League again next season, so the financials will be fine. He ain't going nowhere. Also, I think the owners want to give Slot a chance without certain players in our squad and new players coming in. with his way of playing. So that's what I think is going to happen, guys. I honestly do. He'd be sacked by now if it was the case. What's the point of doing it in the summer? It's a World Cup.
The thing is, what Arne needs to say in his press conferences is he needs to say, I need to be humble and tell everyone that the only reason I won the league last season is because of Mo Salah, and now I'm treating him like a fucking linesman. That's what he needs to say, and that's what he needs to do. Like, genuinely, at this rate, next season,
do you genuinely think he should come out and say that?
Club?
Do you think
I don't think anyone's going to say that.
In a press conference, do you think you could actually come out and say, you know what, guys, I just want to make a statement. Last season I won the league because of Mo Salah, and it's had nothing to do with me. You genuinely think that should happen?
Make me feel so much better. and also Mo as well, probably.
I mean, it is true. I mean, like at least 80%.
It is.
At least 80%
of everything was Mo last season. Everything. Mental.
Yeah. Would you say the problem with that, though, because individual brilliance happens to any manager, right? Look at did Man City only win everything because they got a robot up front who scored 100 goals in the season?
Yeah,
I think we got to be careful about saying players won for you. You got I'm not a big Slot fan, but I give him credit for that first season. He put things in place to let players play to their best ability, and that's what he did last season. And they played.
We all sat here.
That is so good what you just said.
At the time, we all sat here in the moment, and everybody praised him.
I shit on him for the whole second half of the season.
Yeah, but I don't know if you shout on him, Mike. I think you were
just go watch
a bit annoyed about some of the results. I still don't think you. There wasn't anybody who was calling for his head. Anybody who was like going crazy and saying
no, not 10 points in the lead.
Of course, and that's context matters. Yes, was the second half of the season last season poor? No, but you can't take away credit in one sense and then give it in the other. You have to be balanced with it. Across the season, he did what needed to be done and some. And look, we were the only. I mean, I don't want to make excuses. We're the only team who didn't actually lose to PSG over the course of a tie. We took them and they beat us on penalties. But what can you say, right? I just don't. You can say that this season and maybe the end of last season has been a shocking run, and you would be fully justified. That no one can argue with that. I don't think you can say last season had nothing to do with him, because that's just not fair. That's not how we analysed it at the time. It's revisionism.
My thing is, with this whole individual brilliance, I think we go down a slippery slope when we talk about individual brilliance for this reason. And, Barnes mentioned it, and Mike. I hear it because, look, I understand where you guys are coming from. Because week in, week out, we have to watch slot ball. And it's not easy to watch. Let's just put it that way. Like that game against Nottingham Forest, those first 45 minutes alone are a sackable offense, just based off of the fact that Forest played 2 days before that Europa League fixture, and we were fresh for a whole week, and we looked like we were the team who played 2 days before. I legit understand it. But the truth of the matter is, Carlo Ancelotti won Champions Leagues with individual brilliance. That, like, we've seen it. We've seen it with our very own eyes. Let's not act like it was Carlo's superb tactics that beat us in the final in Paris, or beat Manchester City in the semi-final of the Champions League. Like, Carlo Ancelotti is not some elite tactician. As a matter of fact, even the memes that come out, he raises the eyebrow and suddenly they start playing football. I think this whole individual brilliance is an example with Manchester City and Pep Guardiola. So I can't argue that Foden and Haaland and Rodri and all these guys individual, but like the infamous moment that Klopp keep talking about, which is Kompany's goal against Leicester, that's not managerial. That's not instructions. That's not. As a matter of fact, Kompany came out after the match and he said you could hear Pep in the back of his head saying, "Don't shoot from there." So I think this whole individual. By the way, Benitez's Champions League in 2005, some of it was tactical, yes, but a lot of it was Stevie G brilliance.
Like
Stevie G, no one's
the FA Cup final. The FA Cup final. The season after the
West Ham.
The last kick of the game. Stevie G was out on his feet, and he just shot. He just had a shot. It was a pot shot. Sometimes shit happens in football.
Yeah,
okay. But okay, so I do want to say though, like, we have been beaten by Galatasaray and PSV this season, like in the Champions League. So it's like I do like the bold confidence about people, but we went on a horrible run where we lost 9 games in 12, but we still have been shit since. We've still lost against Bournemouth away. We still lost against Brentford away. Like, we've still been crap in games. We still drew at home to Burnley. Like, Jesus. Like, we've drawn so many games. Like, we could go to Galatasaray and spawn a 0-0. Maybe. Like, maybe. But I don't trust us at our own ground right now under this guy. Like, because, like I said, he's going to play a midfielder that Florian Wirtz has won more headers than this season. Florian Wirtz has won more one-on-one tackles, duels, than Gravenberch. Like, the guy's non-existent. Absolutely non-existent. Oh, he scores goals. He's not there to score goals. He's there to be a fucking shield for Paul Canate and Virgil this season. And then you got the other guy on the left-hand side who was just nothing, no output, no dribbles, doesn't get into the box enough now, doesn't have enough shot. Well, he does have enough shots, but they all end up in the sky or bouncing off individuals that are stood in front of him. Like for me, we've got nothing up front. We've got a toothless midfield that can't win battles, and you need to have a midfield that can win battles in the Champions League. You really do. Like, you look at all the winners of the Champions League. Their midfielders have been so dominant in games. I don't trust us. I don't trust us with this guy. Like, I'm on Barnes' side. Sorry on this one.
And yeah, you're right. You should trust us.
He got his wish. He's been waffling on about PSG all season. Now he's got to show us if he can do it against them.
Look, the fact of the matter is, there are teams that in the past who've won the Champions League without being the best team, but usually they have a solid defense, and we don't have a solid defense. If we had a solid defense, I'd say, you know what, we could rely on moments of it, because we have got good, on some occasions, unbelievable attackers who can create something out of nothing. But the problem is we're getting run through, and it was. I agree, it was exemplified against the game against Forest. We were so bad in that first half. It was a horrible watch from a Liverpool fan's perspective, and that's what doesn't give me much confidence.
I just want to go back to the hold on, because you were talking about individual brilliance, and I think that it's now turned into one of these buzzwords, right? It's like in politics when you just throw liberal. Like, what are you talking about? actually form a sentence. Don't be a moron. Like, when people say individual brilliance, we're saying that there's an over-reliance on that aspect of the game. Obviously, that's a given. Like, I watched Liverpool come back against you think that Barcelona comeback was tactics? No, that's individual brilliance, right? That's Trent Alexander-Arnold twice. That's Gini Wijnaldum coming off the bench. That header alone is crazy. Like, just Shaqiri to be able to get the ball, that's all individual brilliance, right? But the problem is, if we just remove the context, because I'm tired of people saying, but let's put things into context, blah, 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 blah. Forget all that. Watch Liverpool this season. There's only one guy who's responsible for the reason why players walk around in possession more than they run. His name is Arne Slot. There's only one reason why I'm seeing a lack of effort week in, week out. His name is Arne Slot. There's only one reason why I'm seeing the same guys not perform week in, week out, no matter what. His name is Arne Slot. Like, to me, the reason why we have to sit here and say individual brilliance is because there's a lack of a system and there's a lack of consistency, and it goes by game to game. And because of the fact that none of the players trust the system, they don't trust how the game is going, and we're so reliant on individual moments in the game, there's no security. Like, if we happen to go up in the first 20 minutes, great. We can all take a breath. We're not going to lose our minds. Okay, this is nice. Things are not horrendous. But if there's one thing, if there's one single moment that goes out of balance, if there's one moment of adversity, everything gets destroyed. It's a house of cards that just falls. And that's the problem, because there is no fundamentals. There is no foundation. There is nothing that is holding these guys up other than individual moments in the game that decide whether or not it's going to work. And that also works against us. When I say individual brilliance, it's not just the individual brilliance of us. Let's look at Forest, the most recent game. How many times did that team have an opportunity to make a moment of quality out of, let's be real, things that were not that difficult. Like, we're not talking Fulham away. He just banged one from 30 yards. We're talking just put the pass to his feet. We're talking just take the shot instead of passing. We're talking you missed it by about an inch, Elliot Anderson shot. Like, these are marginal differences. And the issue is, I think that the real separation of managers are, like, Pep Guardiola is Pep, not because of his system or anything. It's because in the fine margins, he wins. He wins the most consistently in those fine margins. And to me, Slot hasn't done any proving of being able to win under fine margins. Last season's title race was not a title race. So there were no fine margins. And for the most part last season, we were not in a deficit in games. The most part we were leading, not losing. So that, again, that's not adversity. I just think that, like, when you look at him and you talk about individual brilliance, it goes both ways. Brighton missed 2 wide open nets. That game could have been completely different in the Premier League, not the FA Cup. I'm talking a couple months ago. And, you know, you could say the same thing. Like, if Florian Wirtz scores against Crystal Palace, that's another point. You know, if this guy scores against them, that's another point. I get it. But when you strip away everything and you just look at the fact that we walk more than we run, we don't play with a midfield, we don't put in effort, I don't see any sort of enthusiasm. The only passion I see is from Milos Kerkez. Like, all of it stinks of it's rotten from the core out. And I think that that's the only context you need when looking at this club. And I just, like, we need to stop harping on individual brilliance. We need to look at the whole tree. It's not just the branch. Individual brilliance is just a branch.
I'm going to add some more to you. We molasses the football against blocks and expect to beat a low block or a mid block with moving the ball slow. People don't understand the word molasses. If you ever see molasses coming out of a jar, it comes out very slowly.
It comes out slowly and thick, don't it?
Yeah, and thick and slow. So
I go like my women.
So how do you expect to meet a mid block or a low block? By moving the ball slowly? You're very easy to defend against in those circumstances. And that is instructions from Slot to the team. That's how we play. There's lots of factors, and Mike, you hit a lot of them on the head. Yeah, this guy is just clueless, to be honest with you. Clueless.
Well, I got one, right? That this is not Jamie Arne slotting or anything like that, what I'm about to say here, right? But it's just a proper discussion, proper adult debate and discussion that we're having here between us all. What if Arne Slot...
He says as he wears a slaphead thing on his
this
on his
is
head.
my manager. Yeah. Right. So what if Arne hasn't got the right wide players to play the way we want to play this season because of the players we brought?
Oh,
hang on, let me talk.
Right gas in the car.
Let me talk. I don't always agree with this, but I do think there is some points that are fair. So Liverpool gone and bought a number 10 this season, yeah, and Florian Wirtz, one of the most creative number 10s, yeah, and gone and bought 2 proper strikers, right? When you buy a number 10 and proper strikers, what do they need more than anything? Time and space to do their magic, yeah? When you've got 2 wide players that we have, and they're not really wide players, you know, Salah's never been an out-and-out winger for Liverpool in the recent years. Cody Gakpo is not an out-and-out winger in recent years. They're players that like to do the stuff at the end of transition. Like Salah likes to be the one who gets the goal, makes the assist. Cody Gakpo likes to finish off the creation, like everything that's been created for him, and be the goal scorer. Yeah. So they like to come inside, right? Take up a lot of the room. They haven't got a lot of pace like they used to have, and that means your striker and Florian Wirtz hasn't got a lot of room to do their thing. So we're very slow in transition. It is very slow in transition. What if Arne Slot needs wide players that are very quick, very techie, very direct, can go in, can go out, and then our team actually looks better as an 11 on the pitch with the midfield and the defence we got that can combat that, because we can't. We've seen it all season. We like if you go back to last season when we had Darwin's, Jota's, rest in peace, and Luis Diaz and stuff like that, we were much quicker in transition, right? Ball over the top, far quicker in transition. This season, we're far slower in transition because we haven't got them players anymore with that particular skill set. you know, that pace, dribbling, whatever you want to call it, pressing. So now everything's more condensed, which means you have to keep the ball. You have to pass and pass and pass and keep the ball more because you haven't got that ball over the top, because you haven't got that directness anymore in a forward area. What if next season he goes and gets his wide players that are extremely quick, extremely pacey, hold the width better because they prefer to be out in wide areas more than inside, hold the wide areas better. Your city midfielders, your Isaac up top or your Ekitike up top, your Verts in the middle has now got a bit more room and a bit more license to drift around the 8. Again, I'm not giving credence to anything. I'm just throwing that there for debate, if that makes sense. I'm not saying I'm in or out. I'm just throwing that out for debate.
So what you're saying there is Arnie's trying to build his final team at Liverpool. That's what you're trying to say, because his winger was Yakubu Minte, who plays for Brighton, and we can see how talented he is, how pacey he is, how he's got the skills. So what's he doing? Is he building Verts into a Stengs? Did you see him play?
But they're at higher quality.
And what, he's turning Isaac or Ekitike into Gimares, who can't even get into the AC Milan.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, these are higher level. He might be turning them into them.
But then he's bought the
higher level
footballers.
That's the problem.
For the rest of the pitch, because he had a Gertruda who plays for Sunderland, who's an inverted right back. We haven't got an inverted right back. Like Frimpong is.
Well, that's why he's going for pace. That's why he got Frimpong and Gurkes.
Well, I think going to be the winger.
I think Slot wants pace in his team. Yeah, you could never get rid of Salah at the beginning of this season because of what he did the year before. There was no chance in hell that was happening. Cody Gakpo, no one wanted him, so he weren't going nowhere. Right, so they're on big contracts. So you got them two guys. That's why he went and got them pacey. I think that's why we went and got pacey fullbacks that can break forward, get forward, overlap, and all that kind of thing.
But he doesn't play them like that.
He does now. But the thing is, though, we moved the ball very slowly because we haven't got that transition. I honestly believe that we haven't got no transition. That's why I want Rio to play a little bit more now. We need pacey wingers to play in transition. The Premier League is all about transition. It's power and pace. It's about transition. You look at all the best teams; they're all fucking quick. They're all quick in transition. They kill you in transition. And I think that's what Liverpool need next season. Again, this is just all open to debate. I think it's fair to chat about it. Again, we're not agreeing with where Slot plays, or I'm not saying I want to keep Arne Slot or anything like that. I'm just putting a debate out there, which I think is a sensible way of looking at it sometimes.
Just one thing I'll say before someone jumps in.
Everything, 1 second, K-Mac. Everything that you're saying, actually, indirectly, you're saying Slot is a bad manager. And I'll explain to you why. Any manager that needs a perfect situation to succeed is not a good manager. Because
it's not a good manager.
Pep Guardiola doesn't need a perfect situation to succeed. He won the league with KDB playing false 9.
Yeah, but look at the talent around him.
Okay, and look at the talent we have. We have a lot of talent. There is no way that we should be.
Come on, I this season I don't know. I really don't know.
This season I don't know because they haven't been put in a position. Okay, let me ask you a question. You know, there's a player that some people aesthetically like some players, some people aesthetically don't like some players. Ryan Gravenberch. If I told anyone in May 2025 that I want to sell Ryan Gravenberch, you all would look at me like I said something absolutely mental.
Why would you get rid of Ryan Gravenberch?
No, let's be honest. That's what would have happened because he was on team of the season. If I say this now, everyone's like, oh yeah. McAllister was. We were on lives with rivals telling people McAllister is better than Declan Rice.
Yeah,
all these players that look like ass right now, it's because no one has been put in a position to win games of football. Van Dijk was amazing against Forest, Van Dijk, but he was crap against Bournemouth. And he literally cost us all 3 goals. So this notion, like everyone's not been put in a position to succeed. My thing is with needing the perfect players, you have to adapt to the players that you have. And the thing that's most irritating about Slot is he literally adapted last season, which is why we won the league. Because guess what? Exactly, he adapted last season. He made Szoboszlai track back for everything Mo did.
He
used Trent as the playmaker from right back. So Slot came in last summer. Not this summer, summer before that. He came in and he looked at the squad and he's like, okay, I've got 1, 2, and 3. I've got this guy on the right wing that is the best creator in the Prem, the best goal scorer in the Prem, big chance, everything. Let me platform him, and we ended up winning the Premier League. How did we platform him? I don't want you to press or track back or anything. Soboslai, you do the running. Okay, now you look at this current version of the team. I spent the first probably 3 months of the season begging for Frimpong to play with Mo. If you want to put Mo on the touchline, Arne, put someone with pace next to him that can overlap him. I've said this statement 100 million times. I spent the season begging for Wirtz and Isak to play with each other. Guess what? Wirtz and Isak played with each other. Wirtz assist, Isak goal. Just as I said, Wirtz is the type of guy that needs a 9 behind in front of him. If you need the perfect system and the perfect... Because here's the thing. Let's say, I'm going to give you all best case scenario. Cody Gakpo leaves, Mo leaves in the summer, McAllister leaves in the summer. We sign Adam Wharton, Olise, and Diamonde.
We're better.
Great. Yeah. Okay, fantastic scenario. Next season starts. We win the first 4 games. Olise is out for 3 weeks. Now what?
I hear you. I'm just what I'm trying to say is right. The way Slot wants to play, right? It is what I'm saying. This is just a debate, guys, in the chat.
Yeah, of course, we're only debating it. Of
right.
Course.
I would argue at a point that the squad for Arne Slot to play the way he wants to play was better last season than it is this season. Right. Now I know people will go, well, how can you say that? You got Isak, TK, Wirtz, and all that. Look at the players that are missing now for the way he wants to play. You know, Trent and Salah and Szoboszlai on that right-hand side was the best in Europe. You got Luis Diaz. You got Luis Diaz who does his thing on that left-hand side, even though we hated him sometimes. I did that anyway. But you could understand the role he had.
He was frustrating.
The way it's perfect for Arne Slot in transition. We've got no one like that on the left-hand transition. And then as much as we hate him, Darwin Núñez was a pressing machine when he came on in the forward areas and kept the ball up the other end. And Jota was clinical. So I'd actually argue for the way Slot wants to play, he actually had a squad that fitted him better last season than we do right now this season.
My 2 secs. What I'm arguing about is Arne Slot needs a Premier League that plays differently for him to be a success. And he's already told us all. Oh, I didn't expect it to be this hard. I didn't expect them to do this. Oh no, they're playing long ball. Oh no, they're using set pieces.
Yeah.
Like, it's him that has failed. It's him that hasn't adapted.
That's another thing, K-Mac. All these things that that's another thing, Jamie, as well. All these things that Slot is complaining about, brother, they're gonna happen again next season.
I'm not talking about that though. I'm talking about
the teams like Jamie.
Here's my thing.
He isn't
the
talking
teams that are in the championship right now about to get promoted. You think these 3 teams like Coventry, Frank Lampard, and all these teams, they're gonna come into the Premier League and play sexy, beautiful football? They're gonna do all the set.
I think Lampard's team will, yeah.
Throw in.
I think we're looking at this.
West Ham come to Anfield. I expect them to park the bus, play defensive.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about how everyone else is. I'm not talking about how teams play, other teams play, and all that. I'm just talking about the squad that Slot's got and the way he wants to play. I'm not talking about everyone else. I'm just saying, I think the way Slot wants to play, the squad he had last season fits him better than the squad this season. And he should be able to adapt, and that's the weakness of his management.
Yes,
that he can't adapt. You know, that's what I'm trying to say. You know.
Yeah, but the scenario I just gave you, the reason why I said it's a fair point, is if Olise is out for 3 weeks, Slot can't keep going on every press conference going like, oh, Olise is out for 3 weeks, guys. Olise is out. Oh, what can we do? We don't have the wide player that can hold the width and blah, blah, blah. We can't do this. Bro, we cannot do this again. Like, for me, he has to be able next season, if he is to stay after winning the Champions League, which I think he should be able to adapt. And he should be able to change it. And even now, forget next season. It's currently the 26th February. Yeah, Habibi, play to the strengths of your players.
But okay, hold on. The problem with this is that when you look at last season, there's 2 different scopes. There's the scope in the first half where it felt like he was making minor adjustments to a system that this team was already used to playing, right? Year goes on, all of a sudden at the turn of the year, productivity drops a little bit, but we're chugging along points. Then we get to the point where we're 10 points ahead, and it's looking like we can win this with, 5, 6 games to go. At that point, I feel like there was a distinct change in the way that we approached games. There was a distinct, now we still had all of the deficiencies last season existed this year. Any team that decided to press us high and play a mid block punished the shit out of us. Southampton did, Brighton did, but we had better individual performances and he made better adjustments and those teams eventually ran out of steam. And this season, again, every team that has played a low block against us has gotten their ass kicked. I don't know what people watch. I don't think people understand what a low block means, but the only thing that destroys Liverpool is pressing in the midfield, not sitting back. Just ask Aston Villa
that's
how
what
that
we
went.
said the other day, last week, wasn't it?
Like mid block is what destroys this team. High press is what destroys this team. Look at Forest. Look at the first 30 minutes of that game.
Mike, do you know why?
Out of us.
Do you know why?
Well,
do you know why we struggle in the mid block, Mike? Because we can't play transitional football.
Well, there's a million reasons, but I just think that the distinct difference is that Arne Slot gained confidence playing another man, slightly tweaking another previous system. Once he realized that, hey, I'm going to win this Premier League, especially guys, after we won the Prem, we started seeing the double pivot of Gravenberch and Szoboszlai. We didn't win another game, and we played a literal different starting 11 from that point forward. And he started to tinker and experiment. And then this season starts, and we're tinkering and we're experimenting, and he's already built up this ego of, I'm confident, I can change, I can do another system. And then we saw it fail. And then we saw him just continue to go at the same thing. I got to keep trying it. I just won the Prem. I know what I'm doing. I couldn't be this wrong. Over and over and over. And I really still haven't seen that big of a change. I've just seen better individual performances. I'm seeing Maka trying harder and winning more duels. I'm seeing Milos Kerkez actually playing left back and doing better. I'm seeing Virgil and Konate just basically saying, you know what? I'm just going to win every aerial duel and I'll prevent you from getting the second ball. And that should mitigate a couple of goals. So to me, I just think that he got overconfident. And when he tried to do his system, it failed and he hasn't switched. And that's why we still play 80% of our play down the left-hand side. That's why we still use our wingers the same way, even though I've seen 5 different players play on the left and play on the right. And that's why it looks so different from last year from an individual player perspective. Because, you changed everything. You don't have the same car. You're not driving the same car and you're not using the same gas. And if you're a manager and let's just say you don't have the players to play this system, I don't think that that's an excuse. If you do not have the right players to play out wide, that's on you. Change the way that you play. Change the way that you operate. Change the way that you try to attack. Like this is called again, Jurgen Klopp had to do it. Like we literally did it in a final in a Carabao Cup against Chelsea. Jurgen Klopp's like, these are all youth players. We're going to change the way that we play for this game. We're going to try to hit them on the counter. And Kelleher had to fucking pull a performance out of his ass. But sometimes you need to do that. Sometimes you need your goalie to just become a brick wall. And he was for us that game. So the issue with Slot is that there's only, we talked about Jurgen Klopp being a victim of plan A. There's only plan A. Arne Slot is like that, but on steroids. He is the satanic version of plan A, no plan B. There isn't a plan B because plan B is just, I'm going to put someone else in that position and we're not going to change anything else. And I'm just hope that he's going to be able to improvise something out of his ass. And boom, we win. Hooray. Yippee.
I'm not being funny. But if you put a Saliba, a Gabriel, some of the greatest defenders in this Liverpool team, they would ship goals for fun. Like we are so privileged, and Arne is so privileged that he's got Virgil and Konate because they are going to see us through this season. If we win anything this season, it's down to those two and Ali because they've just been monsters in games. Like, look at the save. Look at the save against Nottingham Forest in the first 2 minutes. One-on-one with Callum Hudson-Odoi.
This is true as well. They were
you do realize it's a negative. It's a negative when your center back has the most aerial goals. I'm just saying.
That's the difference not a positive. Season. Like, there are some unbelievable chances that the opposition are getting swatted out by brilliant tackles, brilliant goalkeeping. Otherwise, we're done. And I just wanted to say as well, I think there's a really horrific stat going around where I think we've only scored 2 goals in the first 15 minutes in I can't remember the last 6 months. Like, we just don't score goals at the start of games. Like this will continue with Slothball if this guy stays. You just will.
I hate the fact the more
I'm going to say it right
the
now.
more
People
he's
might,
convincing me.
people might hate me. People will go hate me, right? And go, hey, Jamie. I'm willing to give him next season when he gets his right wingers to play the way he wants to play. Because I honestly do believe the players
Well,
that he
not
had
at the left wing. You know that, don't you?
I don't know yet because the summer's not here. I honestly do believe last season he had a better squad for him than we have this season. I really do believe that. We don't play we can't play in transition. That's why we struggle. We can't escape from the midfield area when we're getting pressed because we got no one to throw the ball up to. We struggle in transition. And I think if we get pacey wide players that can press forward and play in that transitional where if you are stuck in that midfield and you can't get out, you can throw the ball out into them wide areas. You know you've got pace that will fly forward there. And you might see a different Liverpool next season if he does get them players. That's all I'm saying. His whole weakness this season is that he can't adapt. And he's struggling to adapt with the players that he's got to perform to the level that would improve, and he's struggling with that, and that's a weakness of his game, and that's why you probably would move him on because you want someone a bit stronger in that. But look, just looking at both seasons that we've played so far, it is one to think about. It is one to think about. Because if we improve next season with wide strikers, like wide forwards, give you all that pace, in transition, which then means Wirtz can play in that 10 and stick to his position a lot more, start further up the field and, can get his head out and go, all right, I've got two wide players absolutely bombing forward. I can knock it into their space now and then run off and get into space myself. Instead of like, I've got wide players, but Cody's just cutting in, so I've got no pass out wide. How many passes do we put out wide when we got the ball in the middle to create room? None, because our wide players go into the midfield. So they get the ball, they go to Gakpo. Gakpo's now sort of like in a left 10 area. Guess what? He has to go backwards again. You start again. You go backwards and you start again because we haven't got them wide players.
I mean, I think it's a combo because
we need two new midfielders.
I
don't think the midfield's. I honestly don't think the midfield's a problem. Look, Ryan Gravenberch is Liverpool's highest midfield duel winner this season, right? By quite some way, right? The only one who's got more duels than him this season is Konate. So in midfield, Gravenberch has won 115 duels.
Yeah, but he's not winning. He's not winning the duels in midfield.
He's winning
he's losing the ball and he's having to take it off.
No, he is K-Mac. He's actually number 4 in the Premier League.
So bad.
He's only one of the 4 midfielders in the Premier League that's made 40 tackles and 40 interceptions. He's actually doing his job. It's people around him sometimes that are not. So it makes him look worse.
I don't think it's like. I do agree with Hussam in the sense of it's not totally fair to put judgment on the individuals in the system. But at the end of the day, like I think that the lack of transition has more to do with how we want to build up than it does with who we have at the club. Because the amount of times that I see either McAllister, Szoboszlai, or Gravenberch pick up the ball in midfield and slow the play down purposefully because they stick their arms out and they say, whoa, control. It's like that's all he says. It's like the only fucking word that comes out of Arne Slot's mouth in halftime is control. And again, even in the Brighton FA Cup game, Szoboszlai scores that goal, but guess what? What Szoboszlai wanted Cody Gakpo to do, and what he signaled with his arms. He said, "Slow down. What are you doing? Why are you putting your head down and pinging that to Mo?" The problem is that we don't even attempt those. But like we don't even attempt those. Like my issue is that we don't want to play rock and roll football. You want to play controlled football, and I think that when you try to play controlled football, there's less and less opportunities to have transitions, because in order to have a transition, the other team needs to be attacking you. There's no such thing as a team playing in a defensive structure and you getting a transition on them. That doesn't happen. They need to come out of their shell. They need to attack. And more often than not, against a team like a Wolves, let's just use them for an example, they're only going to attack when they're in transition. But if you're controlling the ball, playing slow, and not giving them those opportunities, you don't get them either. So I think that a lot of it has to do with the way that we want to play. And the fact is that control is the cancer. Control is the cancer of winning. Like, I genuinely believe that this idea that you can control games with 80% possession, all this stuff, total nonsense, especially with the profile of players that we have. We're not PSG. I don't have 3 Joao Vitinhas. I don't have a Luka Modric. I don't have a Toni Kroos. I can't do this. They're good.
And my other criticism of the system,
but they aren't
well,
these players.
The other criticism for me that Slot wants to do is the fact that I don't think it works long term in the Premier League, unless you have like because here's the thing: the difference between like PSG and us is the fact that the Premier League needs a lot of P&P. You need athleticism in the Premier League, whether you like it or not. It's like you could have 3 Pirlos in the midfield. Yeah, you could have 3 Pirlos in the midfield if you do not have someone who's athletic. Like even the best of passers, like we've seen Rodri struggle against a high press. We've seen some of the best of the best. Like you need people around you. You know, there's so much wrong with Slot's system that I don't think even with the great players it would work. And my thing is, I've always said this: Klopp's system was adaptable, meaning. Well, I remember in 18-19, sometimes we played Shaqiri on the right and Mo up top, and it worked. Sometimes we played Origi up top, and it worked. Not every game Henderson played, by the way. Sometimes Ox played RCM. Sometimes Naby Keita played LCM. Sometimes, by the way, sometimes Henderson played in DM with 2 other players. Milner played, blah, blah, blah. But the system would work. So that's my response to Jamie Phillips. Not the fact that, of course, if I take out Gakpo and Olise and I put, if I take out Gakpo and Mo and I put in Olise and Diamonde will be better. Of course. But you look at the did I just lag out? I think I'm back. You look at even the dribbling.
Sam, you're making a healthy debate here. And I agree with you, right? This is why I'm still Slot out, because he can't adapt. I'm just putting out a debate out there, and I think the chat have missed what I'm saying. Is that I'm putting a debate out there. Is like if Slot gets these wide players next season, that might benefit him better, like it did in his first season. Would that improve Slot? Would that improve Slot going forward? It's just a debate I'm putting out there.
Of course, it's not something you believe
I'm firmly Arne out because I don't think he can adapt to situations that need adapting at the highest of the levels. You know, at the high levels, you've got to adapt very quickly, and I don't think he's capable of that at the moment.
I agree. I don't think he's able to handle adversity either. I mean, you've seen it this season. We've got a situation at right back, and he refuses to play an actual right back and keeps taking one of our best players, our best player this season, and put him in right back. And to be honest, Curtis Jones actually could play better in right back than Szoboszlai. You need Szoboszlai in the middle of the pitch.
They swapped at Forest. I don't know if you noticed that 30 minutes into the game, Szoboszlai went to midfield and Curtis Jones went to right back.
Because it started one way and switched it out. That was Dom. Dom asked for that to happen on the side, on the touchline. He said, "You need to swap me and Curtis around," to his own manager. I'm like,
guys, can you see me and hear me, or am I?
Yeah.
No, you're good. You're good.
So that's the thing. I don't think there's anything wrong with the conversation Jamie's saying at all. But I'm just looking at the other side of it. And look, for me, if he wins the Champions League, he has to stay. Just based off principle alone. You cannot sack someone who's won a Champions League.
Why not?
Specifically, given the teams that are on our side as well. Like, I get Barnes' point, and he hates them, and it's on site and all that stuff. But for me, we win the Champions League. He's got to stay. It's impossible to sack someone who won.
And you got to beat Turkey first.
Of course, it's not, but that's the thing, Mike. It's not just an if. It's a big if. It's a huge.
I don't know if I'm getting out of Turkey with any kind of lead. I might go to Turkey and lose 3-0. Like, it's very possible. Honestly, actually, hold on. The best thing that could happen is that we go and we play Galatasaray away, and Arne Slot comes back with a hair transplant. That's the best thing that could possibly.
You know, like the problem with football, it don't
new teeth.
Football works in a weird way, don't it? Like. We lost to Galatasaray, we lost to PSV, but we beat both Madrid and Inter Milan and Marseille. So it works in a weird way. You know, I've seen Liverpool lose to Red Star Belgrade quite comfortably, but then still go and win the Champions League. These weird things happen. So, you know, I'm not, you know, Liverpool had to take a last-minute Steven Gerrard winner against Olympiacos. If we don't score that goal, we don't win the 2005 Champions League. If Alisson Becker don't save that one-on-one against Napoli in the dying minutes of that game, we don't win the Champions League that season. So you have these weird things in cup football, so I'm not too worried about all that.
What Sam was saying about football these days and how important it is to be physically dominant. Okay. This is why football now is a completely different game than it was 15 years ago. Like the amount of athleticism required, your technique has to be even better than it was 20 years ago because you have so little time on the ball. People will look back to football 15, 20 years ago and say, oh yeah, you had your Riquelmes and these kind of like magicians and stuff. The problem is that you don't have that time in the Premier League now. Sunderland came up. What do? They packed their team. Their strategy for staying up was to pack their team with big athletic runners. Arsenal don't have the best technicians. They have big, athletic, intense runners. They decided, you know what? We're not going to have small fullbacks. We're going to put our centre-backs as fullbacks. Give us more height in areas where traditionally you would have smaller players. That's going to give us an edge physically, also in an attacking sense in the box, because all of a sudden you've got 2 additional 6-footers potentially that you've got to go up against. So football has moved that way. There's always space for magicians and technicians, but to a much lesser extent now. Football has moved from a game just about individuals, and you can have got moments of individual brilliance, to a game where they've optimized for the team. That's why football now is, unfortunately, whether you hark back to the romantic days or not, football is better. The teams today will beat teams from 20, 30, 40 years ago.
The weird thing is what you say is Jurgen built us to that stage where we were all monsters, winning all our duels. Like, it was every battle, every fire that we have to put out. You have to win your individual battles. And then he switched because the Premier League did go a bit more tiki-taka and inverting and all that shit. And then the Premier League's gone back that way again. And we've gone too far that way. Because all the signings we made, there's a lot of luxury in there. Not a lot of fighters. Not luxury, not a lot of fighters. And look, all I want to say is, like, Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank couldn't have said it any better. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank said, I think it was on Sky Sports, Arne Slot, the way Arne Slot plays football is purposely for Dutch football.
Yes.
That's how he...
By the way, I think he would kill it in Spain.
Not going to work in the Prem.
Spain, if he wants to do the system in Spain, he'd cook everyone. Anyway, let me just, speaking of the signings and the new right wingers, let me just grab these supers and then going to move on, talk about like Olise and the summer a little bit. Big up to all of you guys locked in. Big up to every single one of you. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Big up to everyone who supported us across the day on the Champions League draw stream and the Villa watch along and this game. Thank you guys so much for making this end to the month a lot better than the middle of it and the start of it. So I appreciate you guys. Negative Nancy strikes again. This was a response to Mike, of course.
Don't be upset that you can't face reality. That's not my fault.
Big up. I love these one-liner responses to Ed. Let's race for number 3, you bastards. And this is the beauty of the new Manchester United. You went from celebrating league titles to celebrating 3rd. You know what happens to us if Liverpool finish 3rd? We go like we finished 3rd. And then we move on to the next conversation. Like, it's a 5-second conversation for us. But this is where your club is at right now. I understand. Finishing 3rd for Man United is a big deal now. I know. It's very difficult being you. What impact will the Wirtz injury have? What's the latest on the Wirtz injury?
I think he's got
On non-return.
Back injury.
Back spasm, isn't it? Back spasms are a weird one because
I've got 3 different informations on that injury.
Well, it's back spasms, ain't it? So when you've got a back spasm, it's
called carrying Liverpool.
When you got back spasms, it could take 3 weeks. You could be feeling all right the next day. It's just one of them weird things.
Yeah.
I think that's why Slot said there's no timetable, because he could be back next week, or he could be back in 4 weeks, or he could be back tomorrow. It's just one of them things with backs, ain't it? Because my wife suffers with back conditions, so she can be all right for weeks and then all of a sudden, bang, can't move. So it's like that.
Big up to you, Jamie, and wish your wife a speedy recovery. Big up to Nags Games, who says, sacking a manager who won a Premier League and a Champions League in 2 years is taking trophies for granted. We aren't the New York Yankees in the Babe Ruth era.
We've got
this
baseball,
is to
baseball
you.
club
I
owners.
don't know
there.
why.
I
Mike just
don't-
to you,
I
Mike.
don't know the baseball reference.
I mean, listen, I don't understand I don't know why are you making a reference to something that happened 100 years ago, big guy.
Exactly.
Second all, like, listen, if you want to judge everything based off of 2 trophies, that's fine. Unfortunately, I look at the bigger picture, and the bigger picture is the guy's a moron and we're going nowhere. So you can enjoy today without thinking about tomorrow. I will do both. I will enjoy today and I will be prepared for tomorrow.
Yep. Your longevity, right? I want to be dominant for years on end, not now, not just now.
Keeps on saying in all his press conferences, I signed these players for 5 years. My God, I hope you're not here for them.
Agreed.
Big up to Aminur says, Hussam, Man United will finish above LFC. Hold that. You see, Man United fans, you guys are very strange sometimes. Like, you do realize both of us get Champions League football and none of us win a trophy. So what are you showing?
Between second and fourth don't matter. There's no problem.
Yeah.
There's no
Actually, no, Jamie, it's even better. Between second and fifth don't matter.
no, exactly.
Every single one of them will get Champions League football, Aminur.
If you don't finish
that's
first,
why
you're
you're
a loser.
Marcel Foyer.
5 million quid for finishing higher.
Slotin, we're not bedwetters FC. And then Whitney says, did none of you see Slot's second half changes last season? Talk to me about margins. Yeah, but we've spoken about that already. And that literally makes the whole, that makes the whole slot out thing even more stronger. Because if you're in a position where last season you were so adaptable and you changed things when things were needed to be changed, and this season you're not doing that, we're going to have to speak about it. That's the truth. So,
Yep.
He's right. If we get Nusa or Gordon on the wing, I love how you say he's right, and then you mention Anthony Gordon on the wing. Do you guys know that Anthony Gordon?
I want Anthony Gordon.
I don't want Anthony Gordon either.
I do. I want him.
No,
I
he
think
wants
Anthony
him.
He
Gordon
wants
will
it.
be
He's
fantastic.
got 1 open play goal in 34 Premier League games.
Yeah, and I
What
don't
do you mean,
want
and?
goal scoring.
All his goals
don't-
this season have been about against carrier bag.
I don't want goal scoring wingers.
And us. And us.
I don't
It's
want
not
goal
about
scoring
wanting goals. I just don't see it with Anthony Gordon.
I like Anthony Gordon. I think Anthony Gordon's a good player, man. I just think
I know.
I think sometimes we can profile players because what they play like at a different club. But I actually think Anthony Gordon's a decent footballer, and I think he'd actually play really well for Liverpool.
Didn't he get like a 6-year contract? Like,
in my opinion.
he's there.
But I've
for
always
like
been. Look,
2006.
Sam knows. I've always spoken about Anthony Gordon. It's just nothing new.
I don't like Anthony Gordon at all, but I wouldn't take him at Liverpool under any circumstances. I don't like the guy at all, bro. And by the way, with Nusa, I think he's very raw. Very raw, Nusa. He ain't ready for this level yet. Jamie Baldy suggested we get Jacob Murphy to unlock Isaac's waffle doll season.
No, again, you're wrong. I said Anthony Gordon, but good to see you. Thank you very much for listening to my channel. I appreciate it.
No. Baldy slot is what he means, not you.
Oh, Jamie Baldy, you said.
No,
he
he
said
means
Jamie, it should have been a-
Jamie, comma,
Where's the comma?
Baldy
Where's the
suggested.
comma?
Yeah,
There's no comma.
Exactly.
Before you
Sounds
go
like
on a
me.
tangent, he's
You
talking
need to
about
send in another super chat
Hey.
with the comma.
By the way, this super chat is actually very, very true. Big up, my man. Because this goes to what I was talking about earlier, having the right profile wingers to get the best out of your strikers in your number 10. He hasn't got that in his club right now. Now, I'm just like, he said it himself, man.
It could be true, Jamie. Sometimes you need players that fit into a system. There's a football. As I said before, football these days is about a system. And look, it's whether you believe it or not, whether you think that's a credible excuse or not. But you can have it as a hypothesis. There's nothing wrong with having it as a hypothesis.
Yeah, exactly. But I still think he should have done a better job no matter what. Do you know what I mean?
I mean,
Yeah,
he
absolutely.
also said that Liverpool managers don't
The
sat
stuff
on
that
their
we've been
position
serving up
for 8
recently, the stuff we've been serving up recently is totally unacceptable. And
Diabolical.
even with the poor season, we all expected to, even if we had a bad season, we expected to be doing better now. We didn't expect to getting a last cast winner, Forest, after a shocking performance.
I agree. Hey,
Madueke's going to win a Premier League medal, man. I mean, do you know what I mean? Like wingers, it's what fits your system at the end of the day. It's what fits your system.
Jamie, I disagree. Paul Joyce
Well,
says
he's a fast
otherwise.
winger.
I think Arne Slot leaves Liverpool this summer. I'll be honest, I don't think it's a guarantee that he stays at Liverpool beyond this summer. If we aren't successful.
No.
Caveat.
Yeah, if we don't win it, yeah, it's definitely, if we don't get Champions League, he's a goner, in my opinion. Absolutely no doubt about it. I think if he finishes 4th or 5th, there's definitely a discussion to be had at the very least. 3rd, maybe they give him a second chance. I don't know. I think if he's started Champions League football, and he has to go, undoubtedly, you don't go from 1st to 6th and think that's acceptable at all.
My theory is that we get Europe Champions League football next season. If that's the case, I think he stays.
That means they're going to give him a new contract.
Look,
Yeah.
he could. The weird thing is, right? They could look at it and go, right, we have just been unlucky this season. It's been a transitional year. We've had tragedy in a football club. We've had, a number one striker, or the biggest transfer we've had. It's not been fit and broke his leg. All this sort of stuff. They could go, it's just not worked. We're going to start fresh. We're going to give them new players. We're going to go again next season. And then if it gets to about October next season, it's not worked. It wouldn't shock me then. They go, right, it's not working. Goodbye. See you later. I think that's how our club sort of thinks sometimes.
It's what happened with Brendan, right? That's basically what happened with Brendan, not dissimilar.
Yeah.
Man like Rodgers, you get me? Very irritating press conferences, by the way, and post-game interviews. For those who
I feel slots.
Do you see him wearing all the Saudi gear the other day?
In the end,
I really wish that I was doing YouTube at the time. My reactions to Brendan Rodgers' press conferences would be worse than Mike's reactions to Slot's conferences.
I don't give those anymore. I haven't heard Arne Slot's voice in 3 months.
I never listened to Brendan Rodgers give one post-match interview where I wasn't absolutely rattled just listening to him. I'll be honest with you, I was so rattled.
Rodgers just bigged himself up, didn't he? That's what Rodgers
he's so irritating.
so much.
Brendan Rodgers, Liverpool, we're on our way to glory. Blah 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 blah.
The guy had a
Anyway,
the guy had a 6-foot self-portrait of himself.
He did.
Big up to Hein. I just muted Mike. Cannot do this. Big up to all of you guys. Make sure guys are liking and subscribing. And thank you guys so much for joining us on yet another stream. Legitimately, I appreciate and love you all for always showing me so much love and support. I want to move on, just talk about the summer a little bit with Olise, Diamonde, and just kind of all the interest in the summer, like the Whartons and the Morgan Rogers and everyone. And we start off with Barnes on this section. As Hein is saying, we should sign Olise and Diamonde. I have no idea who that guy is, and I have no idea who that guy is. High IQ players with strength, skill, and pace. I do agree with the final statement, though, which is we need people who are skillful and quick, and they're very high IQ. Talk to me, Barnes. What do you think we should do in the summer?
The high IQ is definitely needed because Cody don't have any. Olise, hold on one.
Okay,
it's a fine.
The guy just called him.
Yeah, right. I just said Cody's name,
He just called for sure. I'm sure he just called.
Be careful.
I always liked Olise when he was at Palace. Pops wanted us to get Olise before he even went to Bayern, and that's when we technically should have gone for him as Liverpool instead of letting him go into Bayern Munich. But it is what it is. If we can somehow get Olise back into our squad, I think it helps us tremendously. He's a really versatile player. I think he makes us even better on the right because, let's be honest, I don't want to sell Mo, but I think Mo would be more impactful on our squad if he's a bench player coming off as an impact sub. You can't ask Mo Salah at 34 years old to run 16, 17 minutes every single game right now at the intensity of the Premier League. I think it does not work anymore. It does not work for Mo. Coming off the bench, fresh legs, I think he could do something as an impact sub. In my opinion, I don't want to sell Mohamed Salah. I want to see him see his contract out and then go off to greener pastures, wherever that may be for Mohamed Salah. Diamonde, I like the kid. I like him as a youngster. I think it'd be a good combination with him and Rio, but I still think we need to have some sort of veteran presence on the left wing as well. Who that is, I don't know. I see people talk a lot about Wharton, but I like Anderson better, to be honest with you, in the midfield for our team specifically. Elliot Anderson.
You
Just
watched
saying,
Elliot Anderson against us. Did you see anything special?
Yeah, but
man,
I
he
think
looked
for the
fantastic.
construct of our team, I think he fits us better than Wharton, to be honest.
Yeah, what was
But yeah, we do need some real pacey, high IQ, high skilled players on the wings to make us better. But again, I don't want Arne Slot here to be doing that. I think he's had enough. But you guys might be right, and Rak might be right. He might be here until the beginning of next season, and then it might not work and he gets sacked. But I can be miserable for a long time. So hey, that's all right. I got a lot of gray hair. I've seen the dark decade of the 90s with Liverpool. Maybe I could do it again. Hey,
Barnes, we're going to be here to the sharing the therapy sessions, man. So yeah, we're all together on that at least.
I'll just got a lot more gray hair than
even Mike.
Huh?
I can imagine. You know, I'll be honest with you. If some way somehow like Slot stays, right? I'll be honest with you. If some way somehow Slot stays, like the moment we lose one game we lose next season, Mike is gonna unleash on YouTube. I promise you. I told you all. There is no way that the Antichrist can stay at Liverpool. I can just imagine it. Like even if we lose it by a fine margin, you would go on a massive tangent.
I mean, if he stays, I probably if he is here next season, regardless of outcome, I'm most likely going to go back to just being a normal casual fan. I'm probably going to go back to what I was in college.
Mike,
I pay no attention. I watch.
You're going to do like a 9-hour show.
No, absolutely not. No. I straight up. If he is here next season, I will do what I did in college. I will watch. I will not wake up for any game that is before noon, and I'll watch all the Champions League games, and I'll just go back to being a casual. I'll live my life, and I'll say, you know what? Fuck this. Like if this club wants to run themselves into the ground, I ain't going to give them my energy. I ain't going to give them my passion. I'll show up for Europe. I'll show up at reasonable hours, and I'll just move on. Because to me, that is like it's the definition. It is the definition of shooting yourself in the foot. Definition. You were putting a bullet hole in your foot if you keep him here, regardless of what the result is this season. So casual life might just be the life for me, because at the end of the day, the greatest times of being a Liverpool fan were when I was in college. The 2018 Champions League, the 2019 Premier League. These were the great moments. And not to mention, like,
I agree, that was a lot of fun.
Manchester City 4-3 at home, Salah scoring from the halfway line. Like, come on, I mean, I had all my best moments as a casual.
Ox. I love Ox.
Yep.
It's so much fun. Man. Those were really fun times. Those were really fun times. That's why I was never Klopp out even when we lost the league. I was never Klopp out once. I loved Jurgen so much, man. I just loved the guy.
Well, he had passion and he had emotion.
Oh, the thing with next season and players, I was on Coppish before, and they were all talking about like all of the signings that we made in history, and they were talking about like the Suarez's and the Torreses, and I came on and went, what about the Isaacs and the Wirtz? Like, we've signed ready-made players this year. We've never done that before. We didn't do that under Jurgen. We signed players that got relegated. We signed players that were maybe the next step was Liverpool. Maybe they could showcase how really good they are at Liverpool. But we've signed the Wirtz. We've signed the Isaac. They are ready-made players. And this guy's totally failed. And what are we going to do? We're going to throw another, 400 million at him? Is it going to be like Arnie's been with us 3 years, he's had £1 billion to spend, and we are still playing sloth ball, and we're still got these incredible players who look disjointed, they're all in the wrong positions, like he's still got his 2 sons on the pitch. That's the problem. That's the problem.
K-Mac keeps calling him sloth.
I know. I know it's like sloth.
He keeps calling him sloth. That's hilarious, bro. K-Mac, when K-Mac hates you, he really hates you, bro. Like, he's not a hater, but when he hates deeply.
It's Brendan Rodgers for me now. Like, it is, and I really hated him. Like Tony Blair.
Tony Blair. Bloody hell.
Yeah, there's not many people I can say hate, but I really do have a hatred now. And he keeps on giving the players time off. Like, what the fuck? Like, get them on the training pitch more. Like, the first half of the season, all you did was complain by saying you didn't have enough time to train them, and now you're giving them 3 days off in the week all the time. Like we are becoming a bit hipster. Like, there's players on planes going all over the place. Like everyone was talking about Nottingham Forest coming back from Turkey. Half of our players came back from Dubai. They travelled further because they got given a couple of days off.
It's that coffee shop, man.
Not
The
this
coffee
guy.
shop boys, man. It's the coffee shop boys that get sick of it, man. It's turned us into
Bro, look at this. Again, here we go. Jamie Phillips hating on the coffee shop boys.
I don't know the coffee shop boys, man. Yeah,
No, let the coffee shop boys live, man.
Fuck it, burn it down. Right,
Burn down the coffee shop. Wow. That's slightly aggressive, Jamie.
We don't condone these actions, by the way, people. Just
I don't 100% believe we'd go to buy a midfielder in the summer.
Ooh,
I
wow,
don't
that's a
100%
big
believe
take.
it right now, because
That would be a mistake of epic proportions.
it would
if
be a
that was the
mistake,
case.
right?
I
It
agree.
would be a
Would it
mistake.
surprise you, Rax? Would it surprise you?
It would be a mistake, right? Because McAllister badly needs replacing. But
Agreed.
I think he looks at it and he thinks Graham Birch is his guy, McAllister's his guy. Szoboszlai is obviously the guy. All right, you got Wirtz in there as well. I don't think any of them are going to get sold. If it's up to slot, I mean, Richard Hughes might have other matters there. Curtis Jones might go, and that's a worry for me because I don't think Curtis should go anywhere. I love Curtis. So you'd probably get a Curtis replacement. Is a Curtis replacement a Walton? I'm not sure, because I'm not sure then spending that much on Walton is going to drop a Gravenberch or a McAllister to put him into that midfield. So that is my worry there. That's my worry there. When I look at the summer, I think Liverpool will go buy another defender, even if Konate does stay. So I think they want a versatile defender who can maybe play left back as well to deputise for Kirkes when Robbo leaves. And they're going to buy at least 3 wingers for me. And maybe a right back, depending on the Conor Bradley situation, because apparently they don't think Conor Bradley could be back till 2027, which is crazy. So there's a lot of issues with that as well. So they might look at a new right back. And if that's the case, and depending on the profile player they buy, the money they spend, it might have to be a high-level midfielder that goes to be replaced instead of adding to it. That's my worry looking at it right now.
I think I can. I don't like to give guarantees or anything, but I can almost guarantee that we're going to sign a midfielder in the summer. Because I'm telling you, listen, you don't like him or not, that's a you problem, Habibi Jamie. But I'm telling you right now, the club loves Adam Wharton. So you get me. You better get to learn
It's
to
gonna
love
be
him.
worse than
because of this.
McAllister in our team, man. It's gonna be worse.
You might not like guarantees, but I love giving guarantees, and I'm going to give you a 110% satisfaction guaranteed prediction.
Oh,
If Arne Slot stays, there is not a single player alive that you can sign that will make a fucking difference. That's simple. I will stand on that. Clip it right fucking here. Clip it right here. Clip it right now. There's not a player alive that if you put in a slot system makes a difference. I've said this since October. The only thing that is going to excite me about the summer is if I get a new manager, because then every signing makes a difference. Every single signing. But I just broke the fucking Premier League record 2 times in one summer, and I'm sitting here and I'm fucked. Like, my season is fucked, and I broke the record twice. And you want me to sit here and get big up Adam Wharton? Fuck you, Crystal Palace. I don't give a shit. You want me to say big up Elliot Anderson? Nottingham Forest fucking suck. And to be honest with you, I don't want one of the midfielders from the English national team, because I don't know if you guys realize England hasn't really won much. So at the end of the day,
Whoa.
Well,
Steven Gerrard, Frank Lampard. What are we doing here, man?
No, I'm talking like English. English hasn't won much in the last 10 years. But regardless of that, regardless of that,
well, fuck all since '66, mate.
Yeah.
Last midfielders.
No, absolutely. Yes, okay. But little joke tangent aside, There's no one that's gonna. I mean, listen, maybe a winger, and like that's a big maybe. Like if you replaced Cody Gakpo with someone like of Jeremy Frimpong, but on the left-hand side, who can actually take on a fullback, okay, you might get marginal improvement because we saw marginal improvement with Frimpong. He started 5 games there and he created 4 goals. And it's unfortunate that he got hurt. But, that's about the only thing. Outside of that, this guy will figure out a way to self-sabotage it because he made, these fitness excuses, blow it out your fucking ass. He made Alexander Isak look worse than Darwin Núñez. He made Florian Wirtz look worse than Ryan Cherky, and Cherky cost 30 million. I had to sit here and deal with, Stefinho being bought for 30 million pounds because Cherky looks exactly like Staffy. So, I don't trust this guy as far as I can throw him. And I don't know about you, but I can't throw a grown man very far. So I don't trust him whatsoever. And I'm not going to trust this guy. I'm not going to trust this guy with a summer. Now, could those players be better post Arne slot? Absolutely. You can make that argument. If you sign a Jan Diamonde, you sign a Elliot Anderson, these are good investments for the future. But do I think that they are going to improve the results that we would see under him? No. So the summer is going to be what it's going to be. I hope that we sign a midfielder. I mean, I hope that we sign. You already signed Jaquette. So, I mean, one of them's like Joe Gomez will have to go. Robertson will have to go. And it's going to be a 1-in, 1-out type situation. If Gomez stays, we don't sign another center back. If Robertson stays, we don't sign another left back. Maybe you could make the argument for a right back, but then again, we have Connor Bradley and Jeremy Frimpong, so maybe not. But I think that, both sides of the wing and a midfielder. If you're going to make 3 signings, that's got to be that. And hopefully, just think past this guy. That's all I'm going to ask. Richard Hughes, Michael Edwards, don't do anything that Arne Slot wants. Don't give the guy any leeway. Give him negative 100% say. Tell him, I'm buying for the club. Go fuck yourself. Sit in the corner and be quiet like a good little patient boy. And let me do the negotiations.
That's why I think we need wingers no matter what, whoever the manager is, because we need that. We need that pace in them wide areas. So no matter who the manager is, we need wingers.
You guys don't think that we need at least 2 center backs too?
You need a right winger. You need a right winger. It's not even a question. You need a right winger more than you need a left winger.
Do you know the mad thing is, if we buy another centre back in the summer after Xhaka, we'd have bought Leone, Xhaka, a new defender.
When did you speak French?
And Frimpong. We bought 5 defenders all in the space of 12 months.
He's been using Duolingo. Don't worry.
I don't think we're
Why
getting
did we
one.
buy a summer jacket?
I think Joe Gomez is going to stay. I think we're going to extend Joe Gomez a year. I think that Robertson will probably get extended a year because at this point, what's the point of not keeping him? I don't think that the club wants to buy another center back. I think that Jaquette was it. That's it. Like that.
Yeah, but Mike, I hear you. You don't think we should get at least one more for cover? Though?
No, I agree. One that covers left back. I honestly do.
If Canate goes, we need another one. If Canate goes,
yes, but it's a 1-in, 1-out.
I think Gomez.
It has to be 1-in, 1-out. From this point forward, it's a defender leaves, we buy a defender. It's not I have who I have, I'm adding to it. I think it's someone's got to leave in order for me to do it.
Bayern Munich are linked with Gomez now.
Possible. If he goes, then we'll probably sign someone.
I honestly believe Canate stays. I think he signs.
So do I. So do I.
I think he's going to do what Salah and Virgil did last season.
He would have signed for another club now. Like,
and Lewis still wrote about it as well the other day when he said he made a point that Slot never started talking about the contract of Salah and Virgil till about March, April last year when they were close to signing. And the other day he was really talking about Canate and his contract. So maybe that gives you a bit of a that he's go to re-sign. I think Liverpool have looked at the centre-back market. And I know everyone knows my thing on Canate. He irritates me, right? But I still do respect him and like him as a player. But they probably looked at the centre-back market and probably thought there ain't much better than Ibu out there for his age range. So if we keep Ibu and give him what he wants, keep Virgil for another year. I think Virgil and Canate have improved the last few weeks. I think they've looked excellent in the last few weeks.
Agreed.
And if Jemre Xhaka is that guy, we spent 65 million on an unproven 20-year-old. They must really rate him, right? And then they do highly rate Leone as well. I believe, didn't we spend 30 million on him as well? So that's your centre. They're your centre backs for next season, and they probably think that's enough. And that's good. That's a good centre back part. Like you got 4 good centre backs there. So yeah,
See you.
See you later, man. I think that might be. I think that
Keep
might
on
be
doing
the
God's
case.
work.
I think that might be. But we might buy a defender who can be versatile like Joe Gomez if he goes, because left back's going to be an issue if Robbo goes, because Tsimikas is shit, so he ain't staying. So
there's so much to do in the summer. Why? Let me ask Jamie a question just out of curiosity. By the way, guys, we're not even at 300 likes yet. Like, you need to find your 1% shame left and like the video.
Hit the likes,
Jamie.
now. Come on.
Jamie, I have a question for you. Why do you dislike Wharton so much?
I don't dislike him. I just don't think he's the right player for us. Like at Crystal Palace, yeah. It's not about his actual, like, he's a good footballer. The rest of his game, his athleticism, what worries me. At Crystal Palace, he's allowed to play a little bit deeper and be protected a bit more because he's got 5 behind him. He's got 3 centre-backs, 2 wing-backs who can tuck in if needed, right? And even, who's the guy that plays next to him a lot? What's his name? Ginger hair, blonde beard. Will Hughes, is it? Will Hughes. Will Hughes looks excellent in this system for Crystal Palace, but no one would want Will Hughes. But Walton has got that he's got that ability of that excellent passing in, which I completely agree. He's got that fantastic ball when he can lift his head up and find that pass. But he plays in a deeper system, which is protected, right? At Liverpool, and no matter if he does take the step up, you're playing in that same similar position, but the bigger teams play with more risk. So you do play a little bit further up, even if it is 2 or 3 yards. Your centre-backs play a little bit higher up. Your full-backs are playing higher up, which means they're more attacking, which means you do play a risk in your midfield and defence where in attacking processes where you might play a bit, you're not going to be as protected. And my worry is, has he got the athleticism to cope with that in that midfield? Not about his technical ability or his footballing skill. It's his athleticism around the pitch where he's not going to be as protected as much as he is at Crystal Palace.
So for me, if we do sign Adam Wharton, though, the logical thing would be to sign like someone athletic next to him. That way you'd have the perfect. Yeah, or Gravenberg, or actually,
I'd play Szoboszlai next to him if I was going to play anyone.
Yeah, Szoboszlai. That's what I'm saying. So even everything you just mentioned, like, with Adam Wharton would be solved with Szoboszlai in the team.
But this is the same issue we have with McAllister right now. So McAllister, again, is a fantastic footballer, yeah? On the ball, he's excellent. But McAllister's problem has been this season, and a bit last season as well, when the ball goes in behind him in space, he can't move. And that's what teams really take advantage of now when McAllister plays. They get in behind that space. And McAllister is not a great passer, right? He's not this fantastic elite level passer. He's a good passer, but he's not an elite level passer. And he's passing in actually his own half where he's got to get out of trouble is actually his weakest. He's not very good at it. He's actually, I think, weaker out of all our midfielders in that area of the pitch. It's why when Curtis Jones played for McAllister in that time, came out and say this as well, Curtis Jones knocked the ball back better in that half of the pitch to get out because he's more press resistant. So I think McAllister's got that same situation. It's not about their footballing ability. It's about their athleticism in the Premier League right now when you're playing for a high-level club that does play with a little more risk. If we played low block and counter-attack, like we play a low to mid-block, we played a bit more containing, and we play counter-attacking football, Walton would look amazing for us. But if we're not going to play that way and we're going to step out a little bit more and leave ourselves a little bit exposed because we want to score 3 or 4 goals a game, that's where you can...
But you remember everything that you said about the wingers earlier? Now add that to the equation. What if it's Wharton, Olise, and Diamonde? Then do you think it works?
Well, yeah, that'd be an excellent summer, wouldn't it? I mean, I would work it.
No, but the reason why I asked that is everything that you said about the wingers would apply if we bought those.
Yeah,
wingers.
I think what we're noticing this season for Liverpool, especially, that pace in the wide area is a massive must. It's just a huge must. It's a huge it gets you out of so much trouble if you've got pace in the wide areas. Because a lot of teams lose midfield battles. Arsenal lose a lot of midfield battles sometimes, and they got a good midfield. But what they do, they got quick, wide, technical players in the wide areas that they can knock the ball out to, and they can just relieve the pressure off your midfield for like 30 seconds. It makes a massive difference. We haven't got that this season. So, yeah, quick wide players are a massive must. There's no doubt about that. No doubt.
Just hear me out for a sec. Like, I actually think we're built for a 3-5-2. I actually think we're built for it. I think we've got all of the ingredients. We probably just need one player. Because if you look at the team, we've got 3 unbelievable centre-backs now. Like, Jack A is a fantastic centre-back. He plays in the middle of a 3, and he's really, really good. And he can bring the ball out, and he's got a really good passing range. So you've got Virgil van Dijk, you've got Jack A, and you've got Konate. You'll have Leone as backup, and you'll have Gomez. If you keep Gomez, then you're fine. But if you get another one, then fine. But you've got 5 really good centre-backs there who can all play really well, okay? Then you've got your midfield. Well, you've already got your left-sided of the 5. You've got Kirkez, and you'll be playing him to his natural position where he can get up and down really well, and he did that for Bournemouth. Then you got Frimpong in his natural position as a wing back. Then you could keep McAllister, not a problem, as long as you've got a Curtis Jones or a Szoboszlai or another midfielder in there. And Elliot Anderson, I think, would be brilliant. I think Adam Morton would work as well to a certain extent, because you've got the 3 midfielders, means you've got more in the midfield, which is where we've been failing because we've only had 2 against 3 in so many games. And then you've got your forwards. Like, there's no reason why you can't play Florian Wirtz as a false 9. Like, it's been done so many times. He'd look really good if he was with an Isaac or he was with an Ekitike. So for me, I just feel like you need probably a striker. Just dump this winger situation. A really good striker or a good backup striker. And I don't see why Jayden Danns couldn't maybe push into the team next season as a 3rd choice, 4th choice.
Jayden Danns?
Yeah, or even Kumas. Like, Kumas having a good season right now. Like, I don't think we've got that bad a squad, but I think we need one really strong all-round midfielder, because Gravenberch isn't good enough for me. I just don't think he is. I don't think he will be with the next manager either. I'm sorry. The ballerina doesn't work. Like, doesn't work. And you need a combative midfielder who's younger than McAllister, who can do a bit more of what McAllister can do. Curtis Jones it would be so bad if we got rid of Curtis Jones. Like, there's just not many players that can do everything that he does, and we take that for granted. And maybe a right back, but if Bradley's fine, he can play in that position. He for Ireland, he plays up and down on the right hand side, quite high. I just think we have got a team set up for a Xabi Alonso or a Nagelsmann where they can come in and play 3-5-2. Like, it does look like that. Like, we bought Isaac and Ekitike. They both play 9s.
Do you know the midfielder I'd buy in the summer if I could buy one? It'd actually be Matheus Fernandes from West Ham.
I like Noah Siddiqui. I think he's brilliant for Sunderland.
I like Matheus Fernandes, man. I think he's got a 35 million release clause in West Ham, get relegated as well. I can see
they're
that
18th,
level.
by the way. They're 18th West Ham.
Yeah, I think Matheus Fernandes is a very good player, man. Extremely talented footballer. He'd work well in our midfield. He really would.
طيب خلاص, we'll see what happens in the summer. I think this was a very entertaining stream with a lot of insight on our thoughts on the summer as well and this season. Appreciate you all. This was a fantastic stream. Big up to you guys. All the links are in the description. Mike Das LFC, Beige and Reds TV. That's where you can find Barnes. RakSingh1 is where you can find him on Twitter. Liverpool Chats TV is where you can find Jamie. And Mike Das LFC is where you can find Mike. Love you all. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I'm going to send you guys over to Ram and Drifty. They're playing some form of game. Call of Duty. I think. Yeah.
Some form of game.
Some
Hide
form
and
of
seek.
game.
They play hide and
Game
seek.
there, aren't you, Doug?
I don't know. Ram said redirect.
They play hide and seek. There's Ram in the corner going, one.
Ram's hiding somewhere in North London. Drifty's hiding somewhere in seeking somewhere in South London. That could be interesting.
Anyway, guys, we're sending guys over to them. Love you all, and thank you guys so much for showing us so much love, support, as always. Appreciate you all. And thank you to everyone who supported us across today on all 3 streams. Legit, thank you guys so much as well with this month. Hopefully March, inshallah, God willing, is a lot better than February. And I'll see you guys back tomorrow for the watch-alongs. I'm doing the Liverpool game. I'm still unsure on City. And there is a Liverpool panel show at 11 as well with 5 different panelists, inshallah. So I'll not be doing a pre-recorded Liverpool match reaction because I'm doing a live one later at the night, inshallah. So anyway, love you all and see you guys over on the stream with Ram and Drifty. Peace out, Habibis.